In the West, Chinese products have got a reputation for being cheap but poor quality. But this isn't always the case now. Price used to dictate quality, and I guess to a certain extent it still is an indication sometimes, but not always now. China has become a manufacturing powerhouse. And yes, it's true that some products that come out of China are poor quality, but some aren't. In the same way, you can buy a brand name product that's exactly the same quality as a non-brand name product that costs a fraction of the price. So how you decide what to buy? It can be a lottery. So product reviews from someone that you sort of trust, or even better, a friend who has one, is the way to work out whether a product is worth buying or not, and whether what you're paying is actually value for money. Temu have generously sent me a few products to review. Now, no money's changing hands, but I have been given these products for free. So it's up to you to make up your mind as to whether I'm telling the truth or whether I'm completely biased. Because there's so much biased review on YouTube and other medias these days. So let's have a look at the first product that I've got here. The first product is a seat or tail bag, and this is quite a large one. And if you see seat bags advertised, almost always they'll say this seat bag is waterproof, but it's only waterproof because of the waterproof cover that usually comes with them. So we'll see how that fits later. Now, like most tank bags, they've got a handle so you can carry it around, and lots of places that you can secure it. And it comes with multiple. Okay, so that's some sort of shoulder strap. And another shoulder strap. Oh, that's so you can use it as a backpack. Oh, that's cute. And then some straps to actually strap it to the bike. Let's just do a visual inspection of the bag. It's been a little bit bent from transportation. Right, first off, there's a couple of little pockets on the top for little items, and then just the one big bag in the bottom with another little slip in. It's got some sort of solid plasticky sides to keep the bag from just completely collapsing if you haven't got lots of stuff in it. Let's have a look at the zips. Often the zips are the problem. They actually feel pretty good. Well, you can see that the bag is adjustable, and the straps here will tighten or loosen it. One here, and one here. The base has got some soft padding on it so that if you use it as a backpack it'll be comfortable, but also it'll protect the bike if you sit it on the seat. So let's sit it up on the bike and see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm using the two straps that have just got the clips on each end. So I'm just going to put it under the grab handle. You could put it under the seat if your seat is removable, which is mine is, but I'll just use the easy way and just put it under the handles. It's easily tightened down. There you go. And I just discovered there's a little flap here with a slide-in pocket. So you can put things like your phone or your wallet or whatever in there if you need to. So that's cute. So I've just put my wet weather gear in there just to bulk it out. Zips feel good. What about the rain cover though? That seems to be problematic because the way we've got the straps here, I don't know how the rain cover would fit. Yeah, okay. You can slide it under the front. That's good enough, I reckon, because it slides under the front quite well and the elastic's quite tight. I don't think that'd fall off. The little stretchy things on the top here, but again you could put a drink bottle or something under that if you wanted to and loosen it off. You can see that it expands quite a bit. So, you can put quite a bit of stuff in there if you needed to. Anyway, I reckon a seat bag is almost an essential on a motorbike these days. There's nowhere else to put small stuff. So I always travel with at least the seat bag. So even though I've got a top box, I virtually don't ever use it because the top box is so big and heavy and puts the weight up high on the bike as well. And I usually only need to carry, wet weather gear, a hat, stuff like that. So the seat bag is the go. But I normally put it back on the rack. So let's see how it fits on my rack. Well, that looks nice and secure. The benefit of putting the bag back there rather than on your seat is that when you go to hop on the bike, the seat bag doesn't get in the way. So if you're on a trip, it's a very simple matter to just unclip the seat bag, and you can either carry it, or if you attach the straps, you can carry it as a backpack. This is an excellent quality seat bag, and forgetting about the price, I reckon this is as good a quality as anything that I've seen that's got brand names on it. It's got heavy duty material, the zips are good, the straps and the etc. are really good. It's got the ability to make it into a backpack and or a seat bag or a tail bag. It's expandable, it's got a waterproof cover, and so when you consider the price as well, this is a real bargain, I reckon. All of the 3 products that I'm reviewing you'll find a link to in the description, but of course the price will vary depending on where you are in the world. The next product in my little goodie bag is a tyre inflator. Now I've been carrying a tyre inflator for many years, 20 years at least, but my little tyre inflator requires a high voltage 12 volt socket, which I do have on this bike, but not all bikes do. This one has got its own battery, and theoretically, I haven't opened it yet, but it looks like you can set the pressure, which I can't do on my little one, and it almost looks like you can deflate it as well. So let's open it up and see what it's looked like. Alright, it's got the charging cable. It's got some instructions, which in this instance I'll probably read. Quite weird for a male, but I think I will read it. And the unit itself, okay, it's fairly compact, not quite as small as my 12 volt one, but yeah, got a swivel on there, so I'll be able to put it on the valve, no problem. USB charger, but also because it's got its own battery, you can use it as a power pack as well for your phone or whatever, so that's really useful. Now let's see if it's got any power. Yep, it's got power, and it's set to PSI at the moment, which is what I like to use. So plus or minus, so if we go minus, oh yeah, you can just set the tyre pressure, 32 for my bike in the front, and there's a little sun thingy. Oh, okay, so nice and bright. Oh, and also a red flasher one. It's got a battery indicator, indicates that it's full at the moment. You've got different modes. I'm not sure what the pictures are on about, but this little person mode says that it's PSI. If you keep tapping, it looks like a basketball, a push bike, and for some reason the motorbike goes to bar, which I don't use. Same with car, and I can't seem to work out how to make PSI sit with motorbike, which doesn't really matter. Anyway, to get it to pump, it's just a matter of pressing the middle button, And to deflate, when you set the pressure, there's this little button on the side. So that's the one I'll try to start with, because when you're riding an adventure bike and you hit some loose sand or dirt, sometimes it's good to just let a few PSI out of the tyres. So this will make it really easy to do that. First off, let's test the deflation one. Now the instructions don't really say too much, so I'm going to assume that it'll stop deflating when I get to the PSI that I want. Let's see whether that happens. No. You've got to keep stopping and checking, I think. Yeah, see, it's 24.5. So it's not stopping automatically. So, to deflate, you have to keep deflating and then double checking, because it doesn't really tell you the proper PSI until you take your finger off the button, obviously. Righto, next exercise, and you can see that it turns itself off after a few minutes, a couple of minutes. Next exercise is to deflate this tyre completely. I'll do that by pulling the valve out. Okay, all the air's out. Put the valve back in. Press and hold to start it. And let's just put this back up to 32. And we'll start the timer. There we go, 2 3/4 minutes. Actually, that's pretty good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. My little 12-volt compressor takes about 3 minutes to do the same thing, so it's certainly about on par with the 12-volt compressor, and you can see that it's still showing fully charged. So there's heaps of battery life left. If I had one complaint about this unit, it's that it doesn't come with a little bag so that you can put your charging cable and the unit in together. But I suppose you can buy a little bag anywhere, so that's not a huge deal. Oh, also on the back, there's other little connectors for pumping up a basketball or whatever, or an old-fashioned push bike valve, which I don't think most people would ever use. Conclusion, well, as with the seat bag, the link to the product is in the description, and the price is going to vary depending on where you are in the world, but I reckon a thing like this is really good value, and particularly if you're out on your own and doing adventure type riding, then you definitely need to carry something like this. And if you've ever used a little hand pump, you'll know how much of a pain it is to use one of them to pump up a tyre. The third item to look at is a tyre pressure monitor. Now, I have tyre pressure monitors on my bike, so this one is going to be tested on Wendy's bike. So let's have a look at it. It's got some big instructions and some small instructions. And actual monitors themselves just screw onto the valves. Handlebar mount the monitor. So it looks like it's going to be easy to mount. And under here we've got some little locking nuts to lock these onto the valves. A little tool. I don't know whether they're necessary. I haven't got any on mine and it hasn't been a problem, but you know, personal choice. And the charging cable. Now, I might be living under a rock, but I haven't seen a charging cable with an end like that on it before, which is a bit of a problem because it means I have to carry multiple cables, but you know, let's have a look at where you plug it in. Okay, so it's actually magnetic. Cute. Righto, so to turn it on, just press and hold. And it's got the front wheel, the back wheel, and it's complaining because it reckons it's below the low point that's been set. Now, I'm not going to go through all the settings, but you know, basically, you know, just press this one, gets you into the settings. I've got it on PSI and Celsius for the temperature of the bike, the tyres. And now it's saying this is the low pressure set for the front wheel. I've got it at 17, and the high pressure 43 for the front, and then one more press. Low pressure for the back, high pressure for the back, and temperature settings. I'm really not worried about temperature settings, so I'm going to make them fairly high. And actually don't know what that one is. Oh, clock setting, date, and then the front screen. So the front screen shows you the front pressure, back pressure, the time, and the temperature of the tyres. Now, it's a fairly good looking unit. It's built for motorcycles, so it's supposed to be waterproof. And it's saying what you can see here, a little battery, saying the battery's full at the moment. Now, if it's anything like mine, the battery lasts for a couple of months, because if the bike's stopped and sitting static, then the thing automatically turns itself off. But if you want to turn it off manually, you just press and hold the top button and off she goes. So we're going to put the tyre pressure monitor on Wendy's Kawasaki Vulcan 650. Okay, so there's a little locking screw here to lock it onto the thread, and also the swivel. There's another one down here to lock that as well. So the first thing to do is turn the unit on. Put the front wheel on. And the back wheel on. As you screw the valve, as you screw the adapter onto the valve, it shows up on the screen. So it's saying that the front's only got 29 and the back's got 33, which is probably right because the bike's been sitting for a bit and it needs a bit more in both tyres. But that's as simple as it goes. Very easy to install, very easy to use.